Oh, what's up, GameLeap? It's Coach Jez back again, and in this video, we're going to be covering the 20 best mid laners for patch 11.3. Now, the 11.3 changes have shaken the balance of power in the mid lane, so if you want to know who to play for the next 2 weeks, do not go anywhere. I'm going to be breaking down each champion and why they are broken right now, so you can pick them with confidence in your next champ select. Now, if you want even more confidence this season, instead of signing up to websites that recycle their YouTube content for their subscribers, sign up to the GameLeap website that uploads fresh daily content that is in tune with what the best in the world are playing and doing. Thousands of summoners have already signed up. Are you going to be next, bro? Links as always in the description and comment section. Alright, let's get into it, and kicking off the countdown is a champion making his first appearance in our best mid laners series. Now, he is banned in over a third of matches, and that's because as VIEGO, you are one of the best carry mid laners on the Rift. You see, one of your biggest weaknesses is getting ganked, but because mid lane is short, it makes you less vulnerable. The thing is, as well guys, you have a lot of everything else. You have sustain, you have poke and wave clear with your Q, you have a gap closer and stun via your W, your E can enhance your trading and get you out of sticky situations, and your ultimate can be used in many ways, as a finisher, as a gap closer, or as an escape. Now, if you want to win as many games as possible on VIEGO, build Blade of the Rune King into a Trinity Force, then into a Sterix Gauge. You can easily proc Bork and Sheen's on hit with your Q, and Gauge gives you crazy sustain and survivability too. Now, Riot did hotfix nerf your Q sustain, but you still have more than enough to dominate. Okay, just ahead of VIEGO, coming in at number 19 is a champion flying under the OP radar. At the start of the preseason, guys, VIKTOR was hands down the best mid laner in the game, but after several nerfs to him and his items, yeah, he hasn't been as strong as other mages. I mean, even this patch, Lichbane lost 10 AP and Zhonya's Hourglass is 100 gold more expensive, so how can he be on this list? Well, for one, you always have the upper hand. No, the real reason, guys, is because you still deal damage and can do many a thing. You can trade with your Q and E, you can wave clear, you can poke, you can all in with a well-placed gravity field, and your team fighting is insane because of your ultimate. Luden's Tempest and Sorcerer Shoes, all you need to pop off. Now, we've got another mage filling the 18th spot on our countdown, and to anyone playing Lux support, you should definitely consider playing her mid instead. Now, mages have been strong for a while now, guys, because Luden's and Liandry's are very good mythics, and long-range mages like Lux and Xerath are even better in 11.3 because of the buff to Horizon Focus. It now gives you 115 AP and requires less range to proc its passive damage. Now, as Lux, your E is the best ability in the game to reliably proc this extra damage, and if you land a snare on your target, it is over. Just remember to hold your Q in lane, do not waste it. Alright, coming in next is a champion who has a 45% win rate in silver and above. Coach Jizz, this isn't a worst champions video. Yeah, I know, let me get to the point. You see, QIYANA, guys, is one of the best mid laners out there if you can master her. In Master and above, she has at least a 52% win rate, and because of this patch's Mage City, you are going to froth the next 2 weeks. Now, you don't have to take any risks at level 1 or even level 2, just chill until you hit level 3 and then unleash. Also, once you get Prowler's Claw, you become one of the scariest champions in the game because the active allows you to reposition to make sure your ultimate pushes the target into a bit of terrain. Now, moving on to number 16 on our list, guys, and this champion is very similar to QIYANA. He's an AD assassin that will love this patch with mages being strong. Now, what's funny is that players are still building bruiser items on Talon and it's still reaping the rewards, but it's a little less effective this patch because, yeah, Iron Spike Whip no longer deals more damage to low health minions, so your wave clear is back to being bad. The flip side, though, is that you have insane kill pressure, especially if you opt for the Prowler's Claw assassin build. If you guys get 1 kill during the laning phase, it's hella hard for the enemy team to do anything about you. Okay, up next is a champion who has fallen off quite hard this patch, but is still as annoying as ever. Now, as Echo, guys, 2 of your core items got nerfed, so Lichbane lost 10 AP and Zhonya's cost more, meaning that your power spikes are a little weaker and take longer to get to. There is some good news though, you can do serious damage to immobile mages like Syndra, Lux, Orianna, and guess what? You're going to see these champions more this patch if you get your EQ combo down pat, so you're queuing right after you E. Guys, carrying games is still super easy. Alright, up next on our countdown is a champion who, like VIEGO, is making her first appearance in our best mid laners series. Now, I said for VIKTOR that all you need is Luden's Tempest and Sorcerer Shoes to win. Well, that's all you need on AHRI as well. What's interesting as well, guys, is that you can make Horizon Focus work too, and you can access all that extra damage when you charm an enemy champion. Like, you already deal more damage when you charm them anyway, but this adds another layer of damage that pretty much guarantees a kill. AHRI is a great pick in any elo, guys, and a safe blind pick too, and in Master and above has almost a 54% win rate, so now is the time to pick her. Now, the champion coming in at number 13 is an exciting one because she's only really played in high elo, and I don't know why. As in, she should be a lot more popular because she has the highest win rate out of any champion in Master Plus. Now, one of the reasons, guys, is that as Tristana, you are the best champion at punishing your opponent's mistakes. So if they move too close to you, you jump on them and throw your explosive charge midair. Yeah, that's a flash. You're also hard to gank because of your W, and at level 6 you can always buster shot the enemy threat back to base. On top of that, the fact that Seeker's Arm Guard and Zhonya's Hourglass are more expensive means you have a bigger window of opportunity against mages in the early game. So if you want to crush your lane in the first 10 minutes, guys, there are very few picks as good as Tristana. Now we have another debutant next on our list, guys, and if you like Lux, Seraph, and Ziggs, then you're going to love this champion too. Now Vel'Koz is the best out of all the Giga range mages. Every single one of your abilities can proc Horizon Focus's passive, and this got buffed, remember. It's very easy to proc Luden's passive damage as well with your W and abilities in general, and there are very few champions who can actually deal with your poke in lane. Now assassins can have a lot of fun against you if you try to smell what deodorant they're wearing, so remember to play at range, guys, and use your E sparingly. Alright, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting to say this champion's name after the nerfs this patch, but I can't run from the facts, guys. Just like you can't run from pro guides running ads on all our videos. You see, Pantheon is still one of the best mid laners on the Rift. The Q nerf hurt, yes, but seeing as you max this first, it's not all that bad, and if you rush Eclipse as your mythic, then it's near impossible to stop you from 1v9ing in the early to mid game. Popular champions as well, like Zed, Yasuo, or Akali, you destroy them, and from the mid lane as well, it's very easy to influence the map and take your lead and impress it elsewhere. The point and click stun does help too. Alright guys, we're now into the top 10, and if you want to get to the top 10 in your region, you know what you need, right? You need more jizz. So in order to get some, get clicking on our GameLeap website link down below. All the challenger courses, guides, and videos that you need to climb are all on there. Okay, where were we? That's right, number 10. Now this champion was the best mid laner in the game for much of the preseason, and for 11-1, now he's dropped off the same way Echo has, because when you play FIZZ, you build the same two items Echo does that got nerfed, so Lich Bane and Zhonya's. The saving grace though is your ability to one-shot anyone with your ultimate, and even at level 3, you can dish out a ton of damage to champions who overstep in the mid lane. With Vel'Koz and Lux being played more too, they are sitting ducks. You can still carry on FIZZ, guys, just yeah, a little harder. Now this next champion is the only one on our list who can make use of 2 item buffs this patch that very few other mid laners can. Because as Kassadin, guys, Verdant Barrier and Banshee's Veil and Frozen Heart both got buffed. So if you're against a strong mage or heavy AP composition, you can always rush Verdant Barrier and a Banshee's Veil to completely negate their threat. And if you're against a heavy AD comp, Zhonya's is good, but sometimes not enough, so Frozen Heart becomes a legit option. Not to mention the fact it's only 2500 gold now, gives you 20 ability haste so your cooldowns are up quicker, and gives you 400 mana, which is one of the most important stats on Kassadin. Oh, and let's not forget that you are the ultimate mage counter, so yeah, this patch is prime time. Coming in next at the number 8 spot on our countdown, guys, is a champion who is proving to be one of the best mid laners this patch, and that's Neeko. Now, even though Rocket Belt's movement speed got nerfed in 11.2, you are one of the best users of this mythic because you can synergize this with your W to engage and start team fights. And because of your CC from your E and R, you can also take advantage as much as anyone of the Horizon Focus buffs. Neeko has a great win rate across all elos at the moment, guys, so if you want a champion with great poke and harass in lane and great team fighting, pick her up. Alright, up next we have a mage who has consistently been a top 10 mid laner this season, and coming in at number 7 is AHRI. Now one of the main reasons for that is the synergy you have with Luden's Tempest and Sorcerer's Shoes. You have amazing base damages and scaling ratios, and the magic pen works wonders with both. And yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Now one thing that I see all the time, and I'm sure you guys do too, is AHRI plays using their flash to engage and their flash only. Well, one tip you can apply straight away in your games is to last hit a minion with your Q to get that movement speed, and use this to gap close to the enemy champion. So not only is Luden's great for the burst damage and magic pen, it's also great because of its utility, so make use of it. Now this next champion has stayed ahead of AHRI this whole season in terms of the best mid laners you should start playing, and this patch is no different. You see, MALZAHA, guys, is still right near the top, and though none of the buffs and nerfs this patch changed much for Malz, it's just the simple fact that he is retaining all of his power. In particular, picking Malz in lower levels of play is extremely OP because, well, just think of all those assassins you play against like Zed, Akali, Katarina. What can they do when you press R? Against champions that outrange you like Vel'Koz and Orianna, yes, it can be tough, so make sure to pressure them by shoving in waves with your E and W, forcing them to go oom. Alright, we're now at the top 5, guys, and coming in at number 5 is everyone's favorite. It's Yasuo. Now, Yas is currently benefiting from the extra damage and attack speed Riot put into Immortal Shield Bow, making him even stronger than before. Even if you chunk him to half HP, a couple of Qs later, he's back to full HP. I think it's common knowledge by now that you only need 2 crit items these days for 100 100% crit, which makes your 2-item spike as big as anyone's, and yeah, just really hard to deal with. In fact, it's gotten to the point where going 0-10 is actually fine, because you can still 1v1 anyone after a couple of big purchases. Now, just ahead of Yasuo at number 4, guys, there's another mage who has been killing it since her buffs in 10.25, and that's Anivia. Even after copying a couple of nerfs this patch, she is still one of the best champions you can pick mid. In fact, she has the highest win rate out of anyone right now. So yeah, Riot did nerf your Q's detonation damage and increase your ultimate's cooldown at later ranks, but you're still holding on to so much power. Like, you still have your auto attack speed, you still have your Q speed and pass-through damage, and your E damage. Oh, and besides late game, your ultimate will still be on close to a 1-second cooldown anyway, so keep playing her. Okay, the bronze medalist for 11.3, guys, is the second best mage this patch, but the best anti-mage at the same time, and that's Galio. So if you see a bit of AP on the enemy team, Galio is one of the best champions you can lock in. You have some of the best setup out of any mid laner with your E and W, and your ultimate is a real game changer. Now, Rocket Belt is still your best mythic, but if you feel as if you don't need damage to win and need a bit more utility and cooldown, then try Shirelia's Battle Song. It gives you the movement speed you need to get close enough and taunt your opponents, but you probably don't even need this in low elo because they will taunt themselves for you. Now, coming in at the runner-up spot in 11.3, guys, is the best mage in the game right now, and a champion that is incredibly oppressive after the first couple of levels. So if you want to win this patch, guys, Diana is the champion to do it on. I mean, in high elo right now, Diana has a 57% win rate, and even in low elo, this is around 54%. But Lichbane got nerfed this patch, and so did Zhonya's, so how has this happened? Guys, here's the thing. No one is building magic resist these days. Most fights, even in higher elo, are so chaotic with bruisers and hard engaged supports running right, and your one-shot potential with your ultimate is nuts. So if the enemy AD carry isn't getting peel, and they won't, you can kill them by just E'ing and R'ing. Just make sure to ban Aurelia and you will win non-stop. Alright, here we go, the number 1 mid laner in 11.3, guys. It's that time for Who Am I? Only the chase of truth matters. Riot buffing Immortal Shield Bow has made me beyond broken. With all these mages being picked, I am even deadlier. While most champions need 5 items for 100% crit, I only need 2. Early on in lane I may struggle, but late game I am the strongest of them all. Guys, the best mid laner in League for 2 patches running is, of course, Yone. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to let us know by leaving a like. Make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications. This has been Coach Ease, and until tomorrow's video...